What is going on, guys, and welcome to another Friday the 13th video. In today's video, we're going to be going over what are the best perks for my boy Eric Jr. or Eric Jr. LACHAPPA. He likes it slow and steady. So let's go ahead and find out what perks work best for him and how he could stay away from Jason's scraps. So let's go ahead and find out. Alright, so my boy LACHAPPA, before we get down to his perks, we're going to talk about how you're supposed to play with him and what are his stats are, and based on his stats, what perks will work and benefit him in actually making him stay alive. So let's go ahead and find out what his stats are. We have Composure, 4 out of 10, Luck, 5 out of 10, Repair, 10 out of 10, Speed, 3 out of 10, Stamina, 2 out of 10, Stealth, 8 out of 10, and Strength, 3 out of 10. Now, as you guys see here, based on these stats, my boy is really good at repairing and being stealthy. Unfortunately, his composure is his luck is it's a decent luck, but his stamina and his strength are really low, and so is his speed. So what can we do to actually benefit him, benefit from the from the stealthiness, and benefit from the repair, and also avoid the detection from Jason? And that is what this perk build is going to do for you guys. It's going to allow you guys to not only be helpful when you're repairing, and also have a good amount of speed, and also be able to last longer when you are trying to do every single action, like repairing a car, repairing a boat, or actually a phone box. Now, one of the key components when playing like Eric LACHAPPA, like I said, you want to be slow and steady with him. The cool thing is that his stealth is really high, so that allows you to give you the ability of being able to hide from Jason while others are doing other things, and they could just drop off the battery, drop off little parts, and you can just go there, repair the car, and all that good stuff. Usually LACHAPPA tends to be kind of like the last man standing when it comes to the game, and that is how you know if you're playing him right, because if you're going to want to be as much sneaky as you possibly can. If you're hanging around people who make a lot of noise, try to avoid that. Try to make sure you hang around people like Mason and Deborah, who have a high stealth, have a high stealth stat. This will be helpful because it will allow you to remain safe and undetected in most of the cases. So let's find out what these perks are and how these are going to be beneficial for you in staying alive. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with the first perk I want to recommend you guys, and that is Marathon. I feel like Marathon is the type of perk that you're more than forced to run it on him, just because his his stat is so low when it comes to speed and stamina. You're if you want to survive those longer rounds, Marathon is a perk that I believe is kind of like you're kind of locked into actually having to equip on him. So the cool thing about this one, it increases your total stamina, allows you to sprint for a longer duration. It gives you overall stamina boost, but it gives you a negative of the sprint speed. Now, these come in different roles. It comes with Poor 1 out of 3, Common 4 out of 6, Uncommon 7 out of 9, Rare 10 out of 12, and Epic 13 out of 15. So to keep that in mind, fellas, you're gonna want to go ahead with anything uncommon down. You guys should be good with him. Unfortunately, even a common one is still good, but especially with Eric, anything from uncommon down, you're going to be very solid. And try to get one with has 0 negative, because that's going to give you a really solid roll. I believe I have one on the PC, which is a 14 and 0, which is a very nice perk, because I get that, positive overall stamina, but I don't get no negative sprint speed. So try to roll one with a -0. The next perk I want to recommend you guys is called Level-Headed. Now, Level-Headed will allow you to avoid the chance of being detected completely during Jason's sensibility. So the majority of the time, you're either going to be hiding or sneaking around just because your speed is just, really bad. So when, avoiding the sensibility on Jason is going to be very key and, fundamentally sound for your build. So you're going to want to be as stealthy as you possibly can, kind of, crouch in, and going into a house and staying off the radar. Pretty much sensibility is kind of like the radar, and this is going to help you do that. What the cool thing about that is it gives you sense of what is chance of really good. The negative is noise generating penalty. You're not going to be making too much noise because your stealth is actually pretty high. It's an 8 out of 10. So this one comes with a Poor 1 out of 3, Common 4 out of 6, Uncommon 7 out of 9, Rare 10 out of 12, and Epic 13 out of 15. With LACHAPPA, you're going to want to roll a 1 with really good stats, so anything from uncommon down should be a very good perk. Like I said, the greatest thing of these perks is if you could roll one with 0 negative, that especially with LACHAPPA, that's what you're going to be trying to go for. Trying to roll something with like the least amount of negative, or 0 negative possibly, and a very high positive ranking. Now, this last perk, it's kind of debating which perk to use on this one, and one that I feel would be very beneficial for him in the early stages and also in the later rounds. So I went ahead and added Firecracker. Now Firecracker allows you to start with the Firecracker. You're probably wondering, well, it's a lot easier to find a Firecracker throughout the map if you're lasting in later rounds. That is correct, and that might be true, but usually sometimes Jason will spawn automatically where you're at when you're starting the game, or you're probably repairing something and you didn't have time to go into different houses to search and stuff like that. Firecracker, the cool thing about that is not only does it give you a Firecracker, but it also increases the stun radius, and that's a very key and very potent one, because this allows you to, if you're in a car, you can get out of the car, throw it on Jason, and not actually throw it exactly where he's at. You could throw it at, a little bit further away from him, and it will still stun him, which makes it a really good perk. Not only that, but in the early stages, if you don't have nothing to defend with yourself, like a pocket knife or something like that, this is going to be very helpful for you, kind of just to stun Jason and kind of get away and go hide to avoid his sensibility. Especially with the nice marathon perk, you'll be able to run. With level-headed, you'll be able to stay away from his radar, and this will give you a way to escape. You're always going to need some sort of tool to escape with LACHAPPA, because the majority of the time you'll probably be caught, kind of trying to run away, because you're going to mostly be hanging around with other concerts when you're running, LACHAPPA. So you're going to want to not only protect them, but also protect yourself. This one comes with a positive stun radius, which is increased. And then you got the negative noise generating penalty. Like I said, any perk that you try to roll for LACHAPPA, it's going to be very beneficial if you get it with 0 negative. This one comes with poor 1 out of 2, common 3 out of 4, uncommon 5 out of 6, rare 7 out of 8, and epic 9 out of 10. Anything from uncommon down should be very helpful for you guys with this character. Now, do keep in mind, anything to avoid any sort of negative penalty with LACHAPPA will be greatly appreciated. So try to roll these with the majority of negative as you possibly can. And there you guys have it. That is my build for LACHAPPA. If you guys main LACHAPPA, let me know what perks you guys run. If you guys have tried this perk combo, let me know as well. If you have, what do you guys think of the perk combo? If you haven't, definitely give this a try. Come back, after you try it out for a couple days. Come back on the, come back to the post or to the video, and let me know, what do you guys think of this perk build? Did it help you, survive longer? Do you feel it's more comfortable running these perks? Let me know all that in the comment section down below. Now, if there's a video, guys, that I haven't made regarding Friday the 13th that you guys want to see, maybe something like, what perks you should discard, which perks you shouldn't, or maybe a video similar to how to play as Jason, how to play as each Jason. Like, if you want to know how to play as Jason number 2, Jason number 3, what are the best strats for each Jason, or just overall how to be a better Jason, please let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative. Now, if you did, please remember to help me out by liking the video, and most importantly, sharing the video with your friends. If you want to stay up to date with all things Friday the 13th, make sure you hit that sub button. And if you want to get in touch with me and stay informed on the latest things that are happening in the channel, the best way is to hit me up on Twitter at GFLaserbolt. The link is down below, and also follow me on Twitch. If you would like to support the channel, you can always join the Laser Nation by supporting us via Patreon. Once again, the link is also down below. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next video.